This
Andrew's,
conference will now be recorded.
he's on there right now, but he is coming. I think he's just gonna catch the beginning. Yeah.
We're not gonna be going that long.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll call the meeting to order. Would you like to take a roll call?
Cheryl Robinson.
Here.
David Rowley.
Here.
Jeff Lord.
Here.
Tom Armayo.
Here.
Craig Gelbsman. Tricia Kennedy is absent. Andrew Marietta, he is virtual. He'll be here shortly. James Seward is absent. You have a quorum.
All right. I will forego the chairman's remark and move right into the approval of the meeting minutes. Are there any questions on any of the meetings as distributed?
A lot there. So,
Yeah.
It's a lot of reading. Thank you.
I will read them all.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Any questions, changes, or?
I'd so move. I'd second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Report of the Audit and Finance Committee.
Well, if you all read the minutes, that's what I would suggest serves as a report of the Audit and Finance Committee. We are, I will just add, there was some discussion there relative to timing, what's going on in the interest rate market, and spoken with Megan about doing a little research, a little recon to come back with some recommendations for taking advantage of some investment opportunities at this point. Not too long term, but in the safest amount, realm that we can invest. But it's probably time to be looking at that. But we do need to get behind some cash flow study to understand what our needs are. So we'll be talking about that in the very near future.
All right, awesome. Do you need a motion to accept?
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Give me 1 second, we'll move forward.
You need a second? You got a second.
You're a second.
Thank you.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Bills and communications. Anything out of the ordinary there? I don't see anything that is jumping. Obviously, we have the large sum for the consulting services of Richfield Springs.
Yep.
Other than that, these are
No,
new.
these are new.
Yeah.
These are new ones. Yeah, we have new ones since the Audit and Finance Committee. That's okay.
Any questions on any of those?
Yeah, there are some, I mean, most of them are normal except for grant admin. We've been doing that. Capital Energy, you guys approved that.
Not, I'll take a motion to pay.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Report of the Projects Committee.
I have no comments other than Jody, can you give an update on our projects that we have, Richfield, rail yards, that we'd like to be going on? Anything else you've been doing? So I know you've been busy.
Yes, this week we received a response from Keystone on all of the comments that were made by DEC that was forwarded to them. They also prepared a site map that shows building locations that we have to send to New York State Electric Gas and the Public Service Commission. So, and then we have a new project manager at EDA. Corresponded to him on Monday. Basically, the forms that the last person that was there sent to me, the budget amendment and the amendment to include the town of Richfield as a co-applicant, those forms are wrong. I don't know whether the former person knew me was leaving, just put them all together quick, set it out. They've added the $500,000 into the budget B project, but they're adding that to the overall cost instead of 2.4 million and raising it to 2.9. I said no, it's like 2.4% copies of the.
What's happening?
Yeah. Well, it makes a big difference because now our last year is 50% as opposed to
Sure.
18%. So that's kind of the.
How does that impact?
Yeah, does it allow us to keep moving forward?
Richard Train project. We're getting these done. Is he on hold now?
No, they're working on They've agreed that they will finish the project within 3 months. So we're looking right now at a spring construction date.
I assume it's all the system around DEC and EDA, KO, and I recall, they did some installation because of zero cost or not.
One of the things that I'm waiting for Keystone to get back to me on is when we revise the site plan, honestly, we move the roadway in. So there's less materials that are needed. So I'm waiting for revised unit quantity of those needed so that we can negotiate that with Angel Construction as
So
well.
that could offset.
Yeah, essentially, that's probably what you can.
Materials. Because there's no question, materials are up between now and April.
So is that, I mean, I realize they're all bureaucrats and they have to speed up to come to a quick stop, but can we get, a target, let's do something, get something done. I mean, I'm impatient individual as a rule, and how much torture can one group take? We gotta get something done.
It's 30 years long.
Another couple months.
Now it's 6 more months. Now it's 9 months, you know.
Well, we're still within the timeline for EDA because we're expecting, we have an approval to commit to August 28th of 2024.
Okay, so I'm okay with that, that's nice. We still have that thing done.
But we're looking at spring. That's what.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is you're not gonna,
Can we make sure by spring, everything, there's not another surprise?
Yeah.
So Jody, this problem with the documentation, who caught that? So you reviewed, okay.
Yeah, when they sent it to me, we finally went through and said, wait a minute, these numbers are wrong. And that's when I got back to EDA and said, you guys have made a mistake on this stuff.
Well, it seems like we've been it's gonna happen, and something else comes up. My point is, can we make sure that when the snow leaves and we're ready to go, there are no more surprises, so we actually spend 3 months and we finish? Not another, that's my goal. Member of government somewhere says, oh, and by the way, it's,
These multiple agencies, they're really. They feel, they don't
and yes,
feel.
I know you do what you can. What else we have?
That's a problem.
On projects, please.
No.
Any further conversation with the city and the project concrete?
Yeah, we're just waiting for Dominic to come up from for the release. And yeah, it's not going to say it's with the construction. They don't
When's
know.
it?
That's
When
for
is
the
the
road.
target date?
It must be done by,
no taking the question
Yeah.
on. They're doing these
Yeah.
jobs and.
so they were held up
Putting
because.
bill on our site.
They got big transformers.
Right. That's what I said.
Yeah.
So,
Nice. So we're pretty much ready to roll. I texting, met with Dominic, we went down to the site, everything should be fine. We just need a release form and then we have to make sure they sign what we need. Should be, it's just really just,
Do we have everything on our side set up in terms of any kind of forms that we need signed?
no, because we haven't seen their release form yet either, so.
Okay.
We could probably,
Yeah, I just wanted to get ahead of that.
yeah, say, what do we need?
Nothing else, Pony Farm, anywhere else?
No, right now, 139 is being cleaned up and getting into it. Some modifications. They're anticipating putting in new bays.
Adding on?
They're waiting for the environmental though, correct?
Yes,
When do we project that to be done?
that's already
Oh, it is done. Okay, so we're giving it to them.
Next door.
Okay.
done. We submitted it to the company and
Okay.
they accepted it. So
Okay, so I know that was kind of the, obviously the impetus between doing the renovations on the building, but also in terms of the purchase, so, something to potentially
So
revisit where we stand with.
Are they switching over to that, to the purchase phase, and how long does that take, or?
I've asked them that, and they said they're evaluating that whether it's going to be
Either way, if they're investing in and
I
putting in loading bays.
think that they'll make a purchase before the year lease comes out because they don't want to have to build it repurposed.
When was it appraised last? I don't remember.
It's almost 4 years. I think we were gonna be at 4 years at the end of the lease, right? Yeah.
Right.
Anything
I guess
else?
that's
from
the end of our
projects?
projects.
All right. I don't know if we need a motion. I'm just gonna make motions on everything. Do we need a motion to accept the report of the project committee?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. New and unfinished business. I'm guessing we're having some conflicts of calendars. It falls like on
We always do
Thanksgiving,
this.
doesn't it?
So with the last like 3 years, we've always canceled the November board meeting because it always falls on Thanksgiving, but there is a fifth Thursday in the month. So if we need to have a board meeting, we could do it on November 30th.
Okay.
And then for December, it falls on the 28th, which may be a conflict for some. It's not Christmas Day, but it is right after Christmas. So I guess we'll hold them for now. And if we need to cancel, we'll cancel. If we need to have a forum for something, then
I feel like canceling obviously November 1 because that's on Thanksgiving makes sense, and we'll just placeholder the 30th in case we have something. What's that?
We meet in
I will be in Buffalo, so that will not, we could do it virtual, but, and then for December, then keep the 21st, the
I think
28th, yeah. Does anyone know they would not be available on the 28th right now? Okay, so it seems like worth keeping, and then we'll,
We'll keep, yep.
2024 budget.
2 points in your package for the budget. One, we reviewed at the finance committee meeting, basically, there was a 2024 surplus of about $19,000, and that Megan had done. And that's been reformatted to look at a 4-year plan with the adopted budget that is required for Paris.
So these are all the same, essentially rolled up. Any questions on that? Yeah, we reviewed it at the finance. I would say, are there any major risk flags in any of these budget assumptions that we should be aware of? They all seem pretty standard. but
Right now, what's the county station that's,
It's at 175.
which page? I have the document open.
So in the packet, the Paris budget is first, so you won't see it there. If you go to the next one,
Well, it'll be under municipal subsidies grants, under 75,000.
Page.
I have the first one, it's under other operating revenue, and then you see Otsego County appropriation, 175. So it should be on the first page.
Operating revenue is non-operating
No,
revenue.
keep going down to the next. one
No,
down.
this,
Right there you go.
Okay,
The other operating revenue, right from the third one down. Yep.
okay, I see it. Yeah, I just wonder, I know Jody, that you're coming, to meet with IGA. Is that next week, is it?
Next Tuesday,
Next, right.
That's November.
Yeah, we
Thursday.
actually, right, we have our board meeting and then that we're doing these budget workshops with each committee. I just, I know what your request is larger, so, I think you're in the budget for 175, but you're
No, right now, we're in the budget for 70.
only 75, okay, all right. Yeah, I would hope we can definitely get to 175. I think, I don't know how much Steve has been talking with you recently, but the budget is, they're cutting back in all departments. It's not, it's not pretty at all. So they, And I mean, part of it is the salary increases we did for our employees, which we needed to do, and that has taken up a lot of kind of the gap. So I think that we'll have to see how that conversation goes. But I think it's going to be tough to get. We wanted to try to get to the original request was like what 375.
We said 400.
I just don't see in this current with the budget where it's at right now. You should ask for what you need to ask for. But it's we're cutting services. That's where we're at in the budget right now. So we should all just be realistic about the current state of the budget process.
So,
It's a little sobering.
so because industry norms rule my decisions and understanding of my business, what's our tax rate relative to the counties around us?
It's the lowest in New York City.
Okay, so we're having a hard time covering our budget, but we have the lowest taxes, and so we're gonna cut some more service instead of raising taxes.
Right.
We're looking for service.
We're
It's a
going here.
businessman.
Yeah.
We don't invest in the future, you don't have a future. And it's been Otsego County for
Completely
the last
agree.
40 years I've been paying
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah.
And it's only as
And that's a conversation that is
that recorded.
that's the bigger picture conversation that the county board has to, the taxes have to be adjusted to allow us to make better investments, bigger investments. Yeah,
Your investment mechanism.
Good decision.
$1,000.
Big picture down.
No,
Nothing
a
grand.
third of it.
Yeah,
That's what they're doing, they're looking at all the little stuff.
reactionary, yeah.
Big picture.
No, listen, I'm, and I think the county board is absolutely in agreement with exactly what you're saying. I know this is being recorded, so the reality is, in the near future, will Otsego County have to vote to override the tax cap? In my opinion, absolutely. Is that gonna happen this fiscal year for 2024? I don't think so, because there's not a well thought out plan. But in the near future, for Otsego County to give the kind of allocation to partners like, well, not only the allocation to our services need,
Yeah.
but the allocation to our partners, we have to increase taxes.
Two sides of the P&L.
So really, I think, again, for you guys, probably something to just be prepared with a plan B is if we don't get that appropriation at that level, how do we offset? What do we take out from an expense standpoint to offset that loss? Because otherwise we'll be operating at quite a deficit. So.
Well, and the argument is the 175 allows us to be in the black versus anything, below that, right? So
We're a good.
what's the bottom?
And we generate new income.
Bottom line is actually we'll be in deficit. In the bottom.
Right, so that's really when we need the investment. An increase above 175, right? I mean, to get to 3 or whatever you're really looking for, 375, 450.
We would need to be. We have included in this budget roughly $73,000 federal monies. Meaning the grants, for the 3 grants, those may not be here next year. So when you look at.
That's 2025 you're talking about?
Yeah.
So when you look at that, instead of the 175, those at minimum need is 250. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So more to come. I think since we aren't doing the November board meeting, obviously we'll have the committee meetings, potentially bring this information back to you. But as soon as you hear kind of what that appropriation is, if you could just let us know, that would be great.
It's
Early December?
they'll basically the budget will be finalized mid-November. We will vote on it officially in December. It's a very different budget process this year, but I think much more transparent, a lot more financial analysis. I mean, it's I think a better time than ever for us to kind of have this reality check. But I think it's going to help us be better positioned, more so for 2025.
County's fund balance is bigger.
Yeah, no, and we have a very robust fund balance, so but they're allocating a good portion of it, to make up the deficit. but we're still having to make cuts. So
What's really interesting is that municipal governments, like towns and counties, can have as big a fund balance as they want. School districts are restricted at 4%.
This is a good county meeting.
Get control of this.
Yeah, all right, all right.
I'll only come if like
which one are you? IT budget workshops at 90.
So if you could email the team when that meeting is, if you need or want any support, middle day is definitely tough for.
I think he sent it.
I have it on my.
Last time, but I don't, we have, is this a new, there's a new one, right?
That the November one he sent.
Did he send, okay. Well, do a
I
follow
might
up,
be wrong, but yeah.
just to be sure. Okay, I don't think we have any public with us, so no public comment.
Did you approve those budgets by vote?
Do you need it, you not actually need the approval at this point in time? Okay. All right.
I make the motion to approve the budgets as
Thank
presented.
you, Jeff.
Second.
Thank you, Dave. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Is there a need for an executive session today?
Just want to update, based on what Cheryl had asked for last week, 2 weeks ago, and Jeff just mentioned, I'm working on a capital budget right now. That'll go for it starting the next year.
Mhm.
Originally, I was looking at a number of projects that I was going to go to the county to ask for because people had told me they've got this tremendous fund balance that they're going to be putting in a lot of capital projects next year, and they usually put your projects in. But now I'm kind of wondering if the county is reneging on it.
I think, I mean, go in anyways, yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna ask.
I think there's a separate capital budget process
Yeah.
being looked at, and I think we're looking at more of financing options for that kind of work. I would do it still.
yeah. I mean, I think if anything, we should see visibly what those projects are. How we fund it, that's what we have to figure out, but I wouldn't stop with that.
So that's all I have.
Okay. I get a motion to adjourn.
So
All right, we'll move into the CRC board. We'll leave the roll from the IDA, forego the remarks. The July 27th meeting minutes were distributed. Any questions or concerns with those? Now I'll take a motion.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. We have the CRC budget. This is a pretty intense budget. Any questions or concerns? I like that investment earnings right there.
That's our annual appropriation.
Yeah. All right.
make a motion.
Thank you. Take a second. Take a pick. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. No need for executive session.
So move.
Meeting adjourned. Move into the rail yard. We almost got you through, Craig. We'll let the roll call stand. Please note that Craig did just leave. I'll forego the remarks. Look at the budget for the rail yards. Again, a pretty basic budget here. Any questions? Yeah, there's really not a lot happening there, right? So I get a motion to approve the budget. Thank you. All in favor? All right. Any opposed? Motion carries. Any need for executive session? Motion to adjourn?
Vote.
Thank you. Everyone have a